Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, and in today's video I have the best level 170 Supreme Storm builds for y'all. This is going to be including PvP and PvE as always here on the channel. I make these videos every year right when a new world comes out. Now this year was exceptional, a lot of fun to make. It took me a very long time to actually make these setups and perfect them. Like, I'm talking hours and hours on top of questing and getting the gear. So it was quite fun to do. Now I'm going to have timestamps in the description if you guys want to skip the PvE or PvP for whatever you're watching this video for. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into things right away, starting off with PvE. So for PvE, there's a couple things we need to be talking about. The damage cap is actually at 280 right now in live realm. There's some misconceptions going around the community saying it's 235, 255. But if you guys actually look at my damage right now, 278, right? I get that full 278 you see at the bottom there, where the fist is. The fist is for PvE. The PvP symbol, obviously, is for advanced content, like raids and PvP. Now, I've talked to the developers about this, and I think it's like a bug or something. They did not want it to actually be this high, so they might take it down in the future. I honestly highly doubt they'll fix this, because they would have to hotfix that into the game, and then raise it back up for the Nightmare Gauntlet or Dungeon that's coming out at the start of January, with the hat, robe, shoes, and wand for Wallaroo. So I really doubt they'll be changing this, but as of right now, as you can see, you simply get the full damage value all the way up to 280, like they talked about quite some time ago. So let's actually look at the stat page. You actually get 9,500 HP. Now you're probably like, Liam, you have 9,000, and that's a fair point, but I am missing my health jewel right here, as you can see. So I'm just going to add 500 to, well, 9,500. So really good health for Storm and PvE. We're right almost at the damage cap. I have 278 instead of 280. Now you're going to see why a little bit later on here in this video. It gets pretty interesting. 31 resist, perfect accuracy, 810 crit, pretty good block. The Pierce is a bit lower at 29, but in PvE, not really a big deal, right? You don't really hit through shields much. Anyways, you maybe hit through a brace or a fortify, maybe a tower, but even then, right, typically you're doing more damage than you need. So typically 30 pierce with this much amount of damage is pretty good. I have noticed. Perfect pips, P-Serb is 50-50, 18 shads, and OK Arch Mastery. So what I'm running to get this set up is actually very similar to 160's build. So I have the Aeon hat right now with the Nullity robe and the Aeon boots. Now, if you're watching this video when the Nightmare comes out in the future, you simply are obviously going to swap the Aeon boots to the Reaver boots from the Nightmare. That will just polish up your stats a little bit, but you don't have to get the Nightmare stuff, the Reaver stuff, if you don't want to, because you can still hit that damage cap 280 in PvE with Aeon, right? But I would recommend upgrading to the Nightmare Reaver stuff in the future if you can. So we have Aeon, Nullity robe, Aeon, with obviously Aeon, right? You know, pretty familiar. We have Aeon again, but this time we have two 11% damage jewels socketed. Now you're probably wondering, Liam, why are you not running the Reaver knife? Now you guys are going to see why in a little bit here. I will explain it. It'll make sense pretty soon. Next up we have the amulet. Again, we have 11 damage socketed, and we actually have an epic item code for 315. Now you're probably like, Liam, what the hell are you doing? Okay, now bear with me here, guys. Okay, so the reason I actually like the epic item card is because you're essentially picking over 2 damage or 15 extra DPP. Now with this specific setup, guys, when the Nightmare Reaver stuff comes out in January 2024, when you upgrade your hat and your shoes to Reaver, your damage will actually be somewhere around 284, right? So at that point, you don't need that extra 3 damage you get from here, right? Because you'd be close to 290, and the cap is 280, right? So I'm giving up damage right here, essentially, for that second triangle slot to get this extra 15 DPP, and I'll still be hitting that 280 cap, right? Without actually giving up any stats at all. Then obviously we have the Reaver Ring as well with a damage socket right there. Standard frill with the set bonus. We all, know and love that. And then obviously we have the Reaver deck. Now I'm actually going to end up recommending the Shibalba deck, I believe it is. Or is it the Hun Hao? This one actually gives you a little bit more HP, so you'll actually be sitting around 9600 as opposed to, the 9500 we're sitting at right now. And all you really give up for that is like 9 critical. So I feel like, 40 health for 9 crit is probably a good trade-off, in my opinion. But if you do that, you are giving up a Astral Blade item card or whatever. So it's, something to consider. So yeah, this part was probably a little more confusing than usual, and I do apologize for that. The gear is very, very in-depth, and the loot system this year is extremely just all over the place, So just to reiterate, right, right now, this will be the best setup. When 170 Nightmare January comes out, you're gonna simply want to get the Nightmare hat and boots, and then just keep everything else the same, and maybe upgrade your wand to the Nightmare or Shibalba if you want, but everything else will literally be the exact same. Okay, guys? Now, for the PvP setup. Now, this is something I cooked up. It took me maybe about, 4 hours to cook this up. To put that in perspective, it maybe takes me about an hour to cook up other schools' setups, but this one took me 4 hours, so yeah. We have 9.8k HP, which is not terrible for a storm. Your cap right now is 10,200 in case you are interested in that. We are sitting at 202 damage, so we're right at that damage cap, which is beautiful. That's where you want to be. That's what you want to see, right? We got some dual school damage here as well, if you like that. 53 resist, your cap is 55. Now, you can actually run the Hun Hao amulet, which is actually just better than the Reaver, but I don't have the Hun Hao amulet yet. I need to raid to get that. So if you do have the Hun Hao amulet and you can upgrade that to 170, it's better because it's simply just this amulet with 2 more resist. So that'll actually put you right at your 55 cap you want. So I will end up recommending the Hun Hao amulet for 170. Here, I just simply don't have it, and you'll be right at the res cap. So pretending that I have that amulet, I will be at the damage cap, my resist cap, perfect accuracy, really good crit. Block is kind of low, but storm is storm, so you expect that. Right at the pierce cap as well, pretty solid outgoing as well. P-serve is about 50-50, which in my opinion, it's not terrible. I did get Warlord with 30%, so anything above that, I'm okay with personally. And we have 100% pip chance, 3-piece Shad actually, which is really solid, and a little bit of Arch Mastery on our deck, obviously. So what I'm running is the Burrow Hat with outgoing pin, the Nullity Robe with the Burrow Boots with another outgoing pin. Now, you're not going to want resist pins anymore on a storm. There's not really any point. You could put a blocking one on, I guess, but I wouldn't really say it's worth it, in my opinion. Then we have the Nullity Blade for 160 with that big health jewel, as you can see right here. Really, really nice to have. Then we have the Dream Reaver Knife, again with that nice health jewel, with 2 Pierce Jewels here. Then we have the Reaver Amulet with a Pierce Jewel again, and you need a 16% jewel to actually make this setup work. And you're also going to need a Crystal Unicorn mount to make this work as well. So it's a very tough setup to come by. You have to literally have everything be perfect. We have the Skyfarer's band as well, with again an HP jewel and 6% pierce. I have a pretty standard pet, you know, pretty basic. And again, Crystal Unicorn with the Reaver deck with the 10 or 11% damage on. So yeah, it's a pretty good setup. You basically hit every cap, and you're only giving up about 400 HP to basically hit all of your caps. And you still have 3-piece Shad, which is really, really good. Now, when the Nightmare comes out, I'm probably going to redo the PvP setup, because the Shababa wand for 170 on a storm is literally insane. It's absolutely nuts how good that wand is. So I'll probably update the PvP build for the Nightmare when that comes out. Like I said, early 2024, about January. But for now, this is the best setups I cooked up. It's really, really solid. And I've done a couple of matches. It's, you know, feels better to play. I'll say that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. What would you change? And I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching, and take care.